Hello, welcome to Hockey for Life, and today we're going to have a ranking video. Well, kind of. So, we're going to rank each team in the NHL season 1 out of 10. Like, let's just say Boston, 9 out of 10, something like that. So we're just going to rank each team, and it's going to be part 1 and part 2, well, we're not going to rank them. We're going to do alphabetical order, but we're going to see how they're doing it. So, let's get right to the video. The way that I am going to rank this is that this is just how the players put up points and how many points they have and how many wins. So, the Anaheim Ducks are pretty good on this, but they were not really close to making it in the playoffs. They're 11 points out of a playoff spot. It's not great. They're 6th in the division. They have 67 points. Not terrible. They have way more losses than wins, so that's not good. That's definitely going to put them less. And their points, stats. Adam Henrique had 43 points in 71 games. That's not really, for the team leader, that's not super amazing. So we would probably expect a little better. So yeah. But not a terrible season, but they're not going to make it to the playoffs. So the Anaheim Ducks get 3 out of 10. The Arizona Coyotes had a season that they probably won't forget. They've been playing really well this season. Even though they're not in a playoff spot, they definitely have made a lot of good trades with Taylor Hall and Phil Kessel. But the thing is that they're not in the playoffs, and that's what you really want to be when you get players like that. So they're at 74 points in 70 games, 4 points out of a wild card spot from the Nashville Predators. And yeah, but their stats are not much better than Anaheim's. 45 points in 70 games is Nick Schmaltz, and then Clayton Keller with 44 in 70 games just behind him. Phil Kessel had a pretty down year, 38 points in 70 games. And Taylor Hall was not bad, 27 points in 35 games, but I would have led the team on points per game. But the Arizona Coyotes did not have a super amazing season. They did do better than usual, but they need to make it to the playoffs, which they definitely have a good chance because there's only 4 points out. But yeah, well, let's go to Boston. I rate the Coyotes a 5 out of 10. This season has been another great season by the Boston Bruins, just playing amazing again. It's just insane how they've gotten 100 points before we've just barely even started, really. Well, I don't know why I said that, but still, they have 100 points. Like, it's insane. Really good season for them. And yeah, they're just in 44 wins, only 14 regulation losses. And Detroit has 49. Oh my, they only have 17 wins. I feel so bad for them, but they're just having, and then the points, insane. There's 95. There's 87. There's 56. There's 3 better. There's 3 players better than Arizona and Anaheim. I think Pasternak might have a better combined than both teams. It's insane. What a great season for the Boston Bruins. I will have to give him a 10 out of 10. Now we have the Buffalo Sabres. So they're probably not going to make it to the playoffs. They're like 13 points behind. They're just not doing amazing. But there is a good side to this, is that Jack Eichel has been putting up some pretty good points. 78 points in 68 games, and Sam Reinhart with 50 points in 69 games. That's not bad. That's a good start for them and a pretty good season for them. Even though they did really have like the same amount of points, they had 68 points in 69 games as Anaheim, I'm going to move them up 1 point. So they're a 4 out of 10. The next team I have is the Calgary Flames. They have had a pretty successful season, 3rd in the division, doing really good, and yeah, it's just been a successful year. 36 wins in 70 games, not bad, but now for their points, Matthew Tkachuk leading the team, 61 points in 69 games, pretty good. 58 points in 70 games, and then 54 70. I said Johnny Gaudreau, and then Elias Lindholm. Pretty good for them. I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 for the points in their position. Pretty good. Not bad. Pretty good team this season. Now I have the Carolina Hurricanes. 81 points in 68 games. Did a little better than Calgary, but they are in a wild card spot. So, yeah. The West is rigged. Okay, so the points all have 66 and 68. Teravainen 63 and 68. And Svechnikov 61 and 68. Pretty good. And then Dougie Hamilton right behind with 40 and 47. Pretty good right there. Good season for the Carolina Hurricanes. I will give them an 8 out of 10. The next team I have is the Chicago Blackhawks, literally placed between Arizona and Anaheim. This may be a pretty choice, but they did pretty good. They had 72 points, 32 wins, 30 losses, and 8 overtime losses in 70 games. Not terrible. And their points, not bad either. Patrick Kane, 51, that's 51 assists. Yikes. 84 points in 70 games. What a season. Jonathan Toews, 60 points in 70 games. The reason I'm going to put them higher, I think you know why. I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. No, I'm not. I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for that, for a lot of those points. What a good season. Actually, no, they're not going to make the playoffs, but they're 6 points away. It's going to be a close playoff race here in the West, so maybe they'll make it in. They haven't made it in the last few years, so hopefully they can find a way. Yeah, but I gave them a 6 out of 10. The next team is the Colorado Avalanche, who just had one of their best seasons in a long time. 92 points in 70 games. Still have 12 games left. They're easily going to make it to 100, hopefully. 42 wins, 20 losses, and 8 overtime losses. Just amazing. It's just amazing. They're like 5th or something in the league. It's amazing. Great season for them. And then the points, it even gets better. 93 points in 69 games for Nathan McKinnon. Then next is Cale Makar. 50 points in 57 games. What a rookie he's been this season. Then 45 and 58. 93 points is going to give me a 9 out of 10 out of them. Such a good season for them. For my next team, I have the Columbus Blue Jackets. And they have had a pretty good season too. With 81 points in 70 games. Just behind Carolina for the first wildcard spot. They are in the second wildcard spot. Amazing season. Just so good. 33 wins, 22 losses, and 15 overtime losses. They have so many more losses than wins. More wins than losses. Great. Now for the points. 49 points in 70 games. 42 points in 70 games. So their points are not amazing. It's Carolina's. So I will have to put them at a 7 out of 10. But if there's 7.5, actually I'll give them a 7.5 out of 10. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah. Give them a 7.5 out of 10. Next up is the Dallas Stars, who had 37 wins, 24 losses, and 8 overtime losses for 82 points in 69 games. Not terrible. 3rd in the division. Really good for them, but the points are a little down. 50 points in 69 games with their top leader. And the next was 39 points. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I think I have to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Go with Columbus. Columbus is 1 point down from them, but their points is just not good. So, yeah, I'm going to give them a 7.5. Actually, I might even give him a 7 or 7.5. So I think it would be 7.5 out of 10 is my final call for the Dallas Stars. This has probably been the worst season I've ever seen in my whole life, but it is the Detroit Red Wings. Oh my goodness. So many bad stats I can read right now. 17 wins, 49 losses, and 5 overtime losses for 39 points in 71 games. A minus 122. Yikes. That's so bad. You can't. Oh my. They've been eliminated for a long time. When their 60th game. It's insane. You can't only have 17 wins in 71 games. That's just terrible. Their team leader is better. It's been better than Dallas, 53 points in 71 games for Dylan Larkin. So that's why I'm going to bump him up to a 2 out of 10. Now I have the Edmonton Oilers, who have just been phenomenal. They are 37, 25, and 9 with 83 points in 71 games. The thing that sold me was the points. Insane, 110 points in 71 games and 97 points in 64 games for Conor McDavid. You probably know who the first one was, Leon Draisaitl. But the thing that got me insane about that is that they're both at a minus rating. It's just insane. Most of the team is at a minus rating. I can't. It's just insane. It's pretty crazy that the best players on the team are at minus ratings, but I will give them an 8.5 out of 10. The next team is the Florida Panthers, who have just been great this season with 78 points in 69 games. Not a bad season for them. And points-wise, pretty good too. 78 points in 69 games for Huberdeau and 62 points in 66 games for Barkov. Good season for them. They are not in a playoff spot. They are fourth in the division in the Atlantic, but they are just 3 points out of the wild card spot, and one game ahead, or 1 game behind, because the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are in the second wild card spot. So they don't have a bad chance to making it to the playoffs, but it's going to be a tough one, as the Eastern playoff race is always really hard to get in. But for this one, because of the points in their position, I will put them a 7 out of 10. So the next team is the Los Angeles Kings, who have had a pretty down season, even though the last few games they've had a 5-game winning streak, but they've been not great. 64 points in 70 games, only 29 wins. But the points, a little better. 62 points in 70 games for Anze Kopitar, then it goes into the 40s. So this season I have to give them a 3 out of 10. Minnesota has definitely had a better season than they had a few seasons, like last season. So this season they had 77 points in 69 games, and they're only 1 point out of a playoff spot. Not a bad position to be in. And then for points, they had Kevin Fiala leading the team with 54 points in 64 games. Not bad. He did get injured or something like that. I don't know. But he had a pretty good season this one. And just a great player also. He's been his breakout season. He's been super good this season. So for them, I'm going to have to give him a 6 out of 10. The next team is the Montreal Canadiens. And it wasn't a terrible season. They had the exact same amount of points as many games played. 71 points in 71 games. 31 wins and 31 losses and 9 overtime losses. But the thing is, their points is not terrible. 61 points in 68 games for Thomas Tatar, and 47 and 71 for Philip Deneau, who's been playing really good for them this season. They are out of a wild card spot by like 10 points. I'm not seeing them making it to the playoffs because they only have 11 more games. I mean, it's 22 points, but the other teams will keep on winning, so it would have to be hard. They have to win like every game probably. So yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to make it to the playoffs, but I don't think they are. But they still have had a pretty good season. I'm gonna give them a 5 out of 10. The Nashville Predators are the next team, and they have been pretty good this season. They're in a playoff spot, 78 points in 69 games, 35 wins, 26 losses, and 8 overtime losses. So they are in a playoff spot, even though this is a really tight West race for points. 65 points in 69 games for a defenseman. It's Roman Josi. And then behind him is 48 points in 63 games is Philip Forsberg, the guy who joined the lacrosse thing. And also, let me just tell you a fact about this team. Pecorine has more goals than Dan Hamuis, and Dan Hamuis has played 60 games this season. I don't know if I said his name right, but he's played 60 games this season. And Pecorine has only played 36, and he already has a goal this season. So that's a fun fact. So yeah, They've been pretty good this season. I'll give them a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!